Good afternoon or good evening to you, and welcome to this edition of Jay Nightly News. It's episode 2 on this Tuesday night, September 10th, 2024. And of course, I am your host for this hour and a half program. I am indeed, if I can get the manners working today, Jason DiCatio. Thank you very much for joining us here tonight. And of course, this is the debate night, the night where two candidates will face each other in head-to-head competition to decide who will be the next president of the United States. This is going to be an interesting debate and one that maybe you should tune in to see. Or if you're not going to tune in to see it at 9 o'clock, make sure to DVR it or watch it a little bit later or something, because this is your future, folks. This is who you get to choose on November 5th. Do you get to choose the capitalist, the man who made us basically free for 4 years without wars? We had peace. We had prosperity. We had everything going for us. Or do you want socialism, communism, continued wars, violence, hate, division, everything in the book? You decide. But make sure you get all the facts before you go to the voting booth. If you're going to vote on skin color and the fact that one of the candidates is female and that she has a hideous laugh and a great smile and wants to bring joy and bring people together under a false pretenses, if that's the only reason why you're voting for one of those candidates, sad. Or the fact that the other guy is a convicted felon who's been thrown around the justice system like a rag doll, pretty much treated like garbage, got shot at, almost assassinated by his own very Justice Department, the enemy within the White House, who is refusing not to run for president because of his age. The guy in the White House who's the current president, who basically has a vendetta against everybody else because he has no business being the president. Well, there are lots of questions to be answered tonight. And hopefully the candidate who has not shown up for any interviews nor press conferences and needs to see and use a teleprompter in order to get her message across has a lot of questions she needs to be asked and be put a lot of pressure on. But we'll see what happens, because this, of course, this debate is one-sided by the left liberal media, who continues to give you false news, fake news, everything in the book. Like here, we give it to you real. We source it from credible sources and give you all of the situations. You make the decision. So, like I said, tonight is the presidential debate. We'll look at a commentary or two and give you what the commentaries tell you. Of course, I'll have my own little bit of a swing on it. And the passing of longtime actor James Earl Jones, dead at age 93. He died yesterday of natural causes. The man who pretty much gave us the voice of Darth Vader, who did The Lion King, was on Sesame Street giving us the alphabet, and had a kind and warm, gentle heart. We'll look at his fantastic life on this program later on. And 8 common work from home scams and how to know a job is legit. Yeah, for all those people who like to do remote work, and it's something that you have continued searching for something that was legitimate, legal, and not going to put you in risk of giving up your identity or skimming you out of money, forcing you to give them money and you get nothing in return but viruses and malware and all this other stuff. We're going to give you 8 common work from home scams and know how to deal with it. Of course, we'll also look at what holiday is today, and of course, the motivation of the day and the headlines, sports, and other important information. Don't forget also, too, versus premieres tonight and Thursday at 9 p.m. on StreamYard. Yes, in about 2 hours, the season premiere of our new show called VS Versus will premiere here on the program on the channel, and you will get to see what we're talking about. It's a program where we take two things, we contrast them, and at the end of the program, you get to decide who reigns supreme as far as what is being talked about. Okay? So tune in at 9 o'clock. If you decide you don't want to watch the presidential debate, you can always tune in to our show. And don't forget, of course, tomorrow, Wipe Those Tears returns season 2 every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Myself and the 4 Tier Masters will be there ready to go once again to look more at the continuation of the NES games. And of course, we have a special surprise for all of you out there, but you'll have to tune in tomorrow to see what that surprise is going to be all about. I think your jaw is going to drop when you see who is deciding to join us as a 5th Tier Master, a permanent Tier Master. We think he'll do a great job. And if you have a problem with it and you want to start trolling me, think again, because legal issues will be coming your way if you decide to attack this channel based on the fact of the decision I made. Okay? So if you're a troll and you're thinking about being an asshole, well, too bad, because you ain't going to get jack. Stop opening old cans of worms and go about your business and stop sticking your nose where it don't belong. Okay? Because we don't have time for you. I'm not going to go into this drama. And I've already told the people who have attacked me for it that if you know who it is, tell them legal consequences will be coming their way if they continue this stuff. Now that we know that there is crap out there, I'm going to take the necessary precautions to protect my assets right now from this. Okay? So let's go ahead and get on with it. Headlines, sports, and other important information. Of course, we go to NPR News to get you all caught up with today's stuff. Mauricio Pochettino is named the new coach of the U.S. men's national soccer team. Of course, these are the headlines for today, September 10th, 2024. The Argentinian manager, who has led some of Europe's biggest clubs, will now take over the U.S. men's squad with less than 2 years to go before the U.S. co-hosts the FIFA World Cup in 2026. The Federal Aviation Administration says it will investigate the incident in which no injuries were reported. And, of course, I got to, oh, come on. Yep. Yeah, okay, I was over here. And says it will investigate the incident in which no injuries were reported. Atlanta-based Delta Airlines said it was working to reaccommodate passengers on both flights. Fellow athletes say that the tragic death of Rebecca Cheptegei, who was reportedly set on fire, highlights an unsettling trend of violence against female runners in particular and women overall. Yes. The Israeli military said it was targeting a Hamas command and control center in Al-Muwasi, west of Khan Yunis, and killed 3 Hamas commanders in the strike. Hamas did not confirm the deaths. Well, they better, because as far as they're concerned, they are screwing over this entire war. It's their fault, no one else's, and they need to come to the table and start dealing. But we know for a fact that they're cowards and that they have no business ever pulling a crap stunt like this. They will be held accountable and continue to take the heat. Residents are being urged to finish any storm preparations, as Francine is expected to bring storm surge, strong winds, heavy rainfall, and flash flooding to Louisiana and parts of Mississippi and Texas. The constitutional reform is controversial because it would completely remake Mexico's judiciary. One side said it would end corruption. The other, it would end judicial independence, as Mexico is on the verge of changing its constitution. Here's what you need to know. J.D. Vance spreads debunked claims about Haitian immigrants eating pets. Local police say they see no evidence of crime against pets alleged by Vance and GOP allies. The claims appear to have been spread by a neo-Nazi group before gaining a wider audience online. Governments and industries are pouring billions of dollars into so-called regenerative agriculture. But while scientists say some of these farming practices do reduce planet heating pollution, for others, the science is less clear. Immigrant rights. Immigrant rights group says ICE has a pattern of keeping immigrants detained for months and even years after they have won their immigration cases, putting a toll on them and their families. They won their immigration case, but months later, they still await release. There's multi-billion-dollar market in the U.S. for life and health coaching, and many Americans are looking for alternatives to traditional mental health care. But unlike therapy, coaching is unregulated. The vice presidential debate and the body cam video of the NFL stars traffic stop. But also Jordanian voters go to polls amid fears among a wider war. For the first time, political parties in Jordan are enabled to play a bigger role, relying on their platforms amid fears of a wider war in the region. Trump and Harris will meet face-to-face for the first time on the debate stage. Yes, Trump and Harris didn't directly interact while he was in the White House, and she was in the Senate. She debated fellow vice presidential candidate Mike Pence in 2020. Indian migrants drive surge in northern U.S. border crossings as unauthorized crossings through the United States northern border have surged due to an influx of Indian migrants. Many leave Canada in search of better economic opportunities. Bank of America will pay hourly workers at least $24 per hour, a big jump from early 2019 when it paid $15 per hour. It has launched a series of pay raises as the industry struggles to fill bank teller jobs. Can better bread be climate change? Can better bread be a climate change solution? These bakers think so. Well, a team of scientists and bakers in the Pacific Northwest is searching for ways to make whole wheat bread resilient to a warming world and more delicious. Well, good luck with that. Maybe something like a self-rising bread that doesn't go moldy so quickly if you leave it out in exposed air, because anything is better than what you've got right now. New spacesuits, untested astronauts, and a lot that can go wrong make this 5-day mission unusually complex, but with a potentially great reward, as the Polaris Dawn spacewalk is SpaceX's risky adventure. Indiana's cell phone ban means less school drama, but students miss their headphones. Weeks into a new school year, students miss being able to listen to music, but teachers say the cell phone ban is making their job easier. Winter crabbing strained Chesapeake Bay's blue crab population. It may soon resume. After a 16-year prohibition, a group of Virginia watermen voted to reinstate winter crab dredging. Many argue the decision puts the blue crab's fragile population in jeopardy. I can poke fun at all sides. Harris and Trump impressionists prep for debate night. And can impressions and satire shift voters? And how do the comedians think about their roles? We put these questions to Harris and Trump impressionists. NPR poll shows why the stakes are so high for Harris and Trump in the debate. A lot of people say they'll tune in Tuesday night to the first presidential debate between former President Donald Trump and Vice President Harris, according to an NPR PBS News Marist poll. And finally, Tony Blair urges leaders to ignore waves of populist opinion. Tony Blair's On Leadership, Lessons for the 21st Century, is the political leadership guide he says he would have wanted in 1997 at the start of his 10-year tenure as British Prime Minister. And there you have it, folks. Today's headlines for Tuesday, September 10th, 2024. All right. Well, as we continue on here, the other important information I wanted to bring to your attention, I was told, with Wipe Those Tears, as I said at the top of the show, premiering tomorrow night on its second season, and we have our group of tier masters. I still will not tell you the surprise that will be there for everyone, and you will just have to tune in. But I guarantee you, this surprise will shock some. Others will be happy. Others will take shots at me. And some will say, why did you pick this person to join your team? And others will be like, wow. The thing that everybody needs to understand is that this is my decision. And whether or not you like my decision or not, I don't care about your decision. I don't care about your opinion about it. Okay. This is my channel, and no one tells me how to or what to put on this channel. And that's the bottom line. And also, too, I will continue to disable comments on all my shows until the trolls decide to start talking on topic. Okay. This is baloney, guys. This is pure baloney. And I'll tell you why. Okay. Look, I have been trolled on for the last, I would say, 12 years. Okay. 12 years. That's a long time to be trolled on. I have had people threaten me with violence, with legal actions. They wanted to sue me. They wanted to have me put in jail for just being an honest person because they don't like my ugly face. I have been threatened that my family is going to be hurt and that my channels will be reported for spam and, other stupid, false reporting. The list goes on and on, folks. Okay. As probably Eric Lima, too, gets a lot of the same treatment on the decisions he makes for his channel. And yet he's told everybody to go take a hike. Okay. You either like it or you can move on and leave your opinions at the front door. But don't let it kick you in the butt. You know what I mean? Because at that point, there really is no point to your point. Okay. You don't have a point. Okay. Trolls don't have points. They have nothing but garbage. Okay. And garbage times garbage equals garbage. All right. That's about all you can do. All right. And whoever you are, or whomever you are, with a group of people doing this, or one individual who continues to be a nuisance in everybody's problem and has to have a say in everybody's situation and can't leave the past alone and move on with his or her sorry life. Do I feel bad for you? Do I feel sorry for you? Well, no, not really, because I don't care and could care less what happens to the rest of your life. Okay, I really don't. Okay. When I moved on in 2021, that was the last time I said anything about the person who was trolling me or whatnot. I even emailed that person a final goodbye and blocked that email address ever from emailing me again. And it pissed that person off. Fine. Great. You should be pissed off. You should be pissed off that you started another can of worms, another drama in the community. All right. You should be ashamed of yourself, which we know you aren't, because any narcissistic person doesn't have any emotional content and responsibility towards other people's feelings, nor that matter. Let's say, I don't know, maybe compassion, something of that sort. I don't know. But I do know that life goes on, my friend. And I'm not even saying that as your friend. I'm just saying life goes on. Life is too short to worry about me and anybody else. And if you want drama, go watch a soap opera, because that's all the drama you will get. Okay. The programs we put on here, on my channel, on everybody else's channel, you are free to look at. But if it comes down to, we have to basically block your comments, because all it is spam comments, threats, stupidity, fake channels. I'm sorry, but you know what? That particular issue went out the door some 3 years ago. And 3 years later, we haven't resurrected that issue anymore. And that is what we're trying to tell you. We are trying to tell you that we don't care about that drama anymore. You want to bring up that piece of crap situation that basically exposed the very man who was doing the actual trolling himself, and yet he whines and complains to YouTube about how everybody else is basically the troll and he's the victim, and yet he goes out there and starts making a bunch of fake channels after YouTube starts cracking down on him. Please, come on. You know, that's narcissism. You know it's narcissism. You know it's psychopath. You know it's sociopath. I don't know what else is wrong with you, my friend. I really don't care what else is wrong with you. I don't have any compassion for you because you, sir, treated me like a piece of garbage. I'm giving you this commentary before we go to break because I'm putting this issue to bed once and for all. Now, if you feel the need, once again, that you have to debate me on the issues of your problems, your legal problems, which you yourself need to understand that people will come after you, sue you, and threaten to take you to court. And the consequences of your actions will be dealt with in front of a judge, in front of your peers, and sure as hell your family, and you're going to be meant to be exposed for it. Now, if you want to come on this show and bash and trash me, I'll invite that. You know why? Because I want to see what you're really made of. Unless, of course, you're the kind of person that cowardly just hides behind the scenes of everyday life, behind the computer, too scared, too chicken, and too dumb to basically come out and say how you really feel about the situation and how you feel about me and all the decisions I've made about with my life that have helped me become a very successful person. So to the individual out there who continues to make fake channels, continues to troll, continues to make dumbass remarks about stupid shit, I'm telling you, you can come on this show, but I'll tell you what, you will be muted. So that way you're going to sit there and you're going to be spoon-fed my bullshit, my friend. You will be given the treatment of how you treated people. And if you don't like it, you can walk away and never come back again. Fair is fair. But if you say, oh, I want it this way and chop, and he's going to give it to my man. No, man, this is not a threat. This is not a ransom being sent to me based on conditions. I will only come on if. No, here it is, my friend. You take this for what it is, or you can go out the door, get a swift kick in the foot, and realize you were never welcome to begin with. I'm only doing this because I feel that there's somebody out there who really hates my guts, that really hates my guts and cannot come to the table and make that case against me. So all the stuff that you wrote about me over the past 5 to 6 years, really, I would love to have you come on here and read word for word because I've exposed you for it. Those videos, my friend in Michigan, are still up there. Those videos against you of what you said about me, what you wrote about me are still up there. They're never coming down and they never will be coming down. And this is another thing you have to understand. And I've said this before. I do not own those channels. So for the fat dude in Michigan, and I know that it's you, once again, for the final time of your sorry ass life, realize that anything that I had said to you prior to 2021, the statute of limitations is up. You cannot go after me for all of that. And again, it's a matter of opinion, but that's all based on facts because I showed it once and for all. I showed everybody your lewd comments, and for the love of God, my friend, you got a potty mouth. And if you think I'm so bare with my mouth, Mr. Uba Haba Haba, whatever you want to call yourself, because you don't know what you are every day of the week, because you have to hide behind your mask and you have to hide behind your computer, impersonating even the female version of yourself. Sorry to say, but just don't fly. You know what I mean? But anyways, like I said, the open invitation is for you, my friend. We know you're not going to show up. We know it because you're a chicken. You're yellow and you are just plain dumb. And as far as I'm concerned, and this will, like I said, as far as I'm concerned, I don't care. I don't care what you have to say. What happened 5-6 years ago? It's water under the bridge, my friend. But you want to resurrect this. You want to resurrect a rotten can of tomatoes. You want to reopen Spam. Who knows? Anyways, when we come back, we'll look at our first article of the day, which is, of course, the presidential debate. And also, too, remember, we are here for you, my friends. And we'll also give you everything you need to succeed in life. We'll be back with more nightly news right after this.
Hi, I'm Dick Clark. You know, when the weather is sunny and hot, you and I really go for a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper, the soft drink that goes so well with hot weather. Deliciously different. When the weather's hot, Dr. Pepper tastes great cold. And when the weather's cold, that's when Dr. Pepper tastes so great hot. Hi, Max. Good friends, a roaring fire. The perfect time for hot Dr. Pepper. Delicious and so easy to prepare. Just heat Dr. Pepper in a saucepan till it steams, then pour over a thin slice of lemon. That's a hot idea. Yes, Dr. Pepper is delicious cold or hot. Try hot Dr. Pepper. It's a great winter treat. Right, Max? Hot idea.
This man has worked a long, hard day, and he's got a lot of money to show for it. Other people's money. He's a pickpocket. His take, $700. It's dangerous to carry cash. Carry American Express traveler's checks. If they're lost or stolen, you can get them back. Your vacation is protected. American Express traveler's checks. Don't leave home without them.
I am Quick Claude. I do everything fast.
Marathon John, you can't eat a marathon candy bar fast, Quick Claude. It lasts a good long time. I show you. Milk chocolate, delicious caramel, and chewy. Told you, nobody eats a marathon bar quick, Claude.
Marathon lasts a good long time.
That only Carvel makes. They're made fresh every day, 'cause that's the Carvel way. And while you're at the store, say Cookie Puss some more. And don't forget about Hug Me the Bear.
The friendliest bear.
Your participating Carvel dealer also has Hug Me the Bear and Cookie Puss dolls. You'll love them. Thank you.
These tires are all the same, Goodyear, but they're all different. Different tires for different drivers. They've got them all, and they're all very good.
Instead of a tune-up, all I needed was a little fuel filter. It saved me money.
I just got white letter Eagle ratings. Hey, looking good never hurts.
You gotta be good to be Goodyear.
Goodyear tires and auto service for more good years in your car. We're Goodyear!
I can't concentrate.
It's over, Rock.
Now that it's over, just give me something to drink.
There ain't nothing on ice till it's save it now.
Lifting Briscoe's beer.
Except maybe this.
Brad Balboa needs a miracle.
Yo, that's brisk, baby.
Get in there. Save some of that for the sequel.
All right, welcome back to Nightly News here on the WJAY's StreamYard for Jay's All TV and Sports channel. It is, of course, Tuesday night here, one night before the September 11th Patriot Day, which will be tomorrow. We'll have a very interesting show for you then, and I hope you will tune into it as well, where we'll be talking about the 22nd anniversary. Well, actually, it's more like the 23rd anniversary of that tragic day that happened to all of us here in the United States of America. And hopefully we'll be able to look back with heavy hearts at the day that really changed everybody, whether it was good or bad. And for that matter, we will, of course, honor those who had fallen victim to the terror attacks. Okay, now let's get back to our look at the presidential debate. And we're ready here. This is from the New Yorker. I pulled up this commentary, which I think you might be interested. So let's take a look and see what we have today. The first presidential debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, a pivotal moment in an unusually volatile race, will begin at 9 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday night, which is in about 2 hours, in Philadelphia. The debate will air on ABC and be moderated by the network anchors David Muir and Lindsay Davis. But New Yorker readers can watch a stream of the entire 90-minute exchange right here on our live blog. Harris and Trump are expected to face off over topics including the economy, crime, immigration, and the wars in Ukraine and Gaza. The conversation is also likely to touch on their willingness, particularly Trump's, to accept the results of the election. See, once again, you could tell which way that they're leaning. The New York reporters Evan Osnos, Claire Malone, Vincent Cunningham, and Benjamin Wallace Wells will respond to the debate in real time on our live blog. And at the end of the evening, the magazine's Susan B. Glasser will provide her post-debate analysis in the latest edition of her column, Letter from Biden's Washington. The stakes are high for both Harris and Trump. Harris, the Democratic nominee, arrives in Philadelphia following a disastrous showing by President Joe Biden at the first 2024 presidential debate in June. Biden's listless, unfocused performance ultimately resulted in his withdrawing from the race, which has tightened in recent days after an initial surge of support for Harris. So-called support, as they say, because you got to remember this person, this vice president, had 3 years to do everything, and she still has the power to do something, which she hasn't. So, as they always say, the do-nothing Democrats will come to the table, tell you that life is great and that everything is a honky-dory. And you can sit there in your homes saying that Harris was basically given a free pass on every question. But you, as the American people who really are the hardworking people of this great country, deserve answers as to why our economy is in the tank, why we have violence, why we have 2 wars, which we're not even part of, and why we have illegals coming across this country that are not vetted, that are committing crimes in our very blue cities, and are just continually taking jobs away from the hardworking American people who are trying to get jobs. That's right. You, if you're looking for a job, have to realize you can lose it to an illegal immigrant. That's right. They are choosing the illegal immigrants over you, my friend. And that right there should piss you off. But if you accept everything that the so-called vice president gave to you since 2021 after Donald Trump left, if you accept this, if you accept this kind of policy, then we're going to be heading into a socialist communist country, a third world country that will basically not be non-existent, where great Americans who once had great things happen for them now are at the mercy of people coming in, taking over, and telling them what to do. If you need to be spoon-fed to make choices, then you are part of the socialist regime. If you have to have somebody in the White House point a finger at you, telling you when to eat, when to sleep, when to go take a crap, what clothes to wear, how much money you will be given every day, if you want to be a robot, then you are part of the socialist communist regime. Even if your beliefs are up here, but you say, I'm a hardworking, patriotic American, no, you're painting a picture of a fake you, all right? You are giving your false impression of what you think the America of the future is supposed to be. That's what you are, okay? I'll give you to the bottom line. So for all those people who proudly display their flags, yet think that it's okay for socialism and communism and Marxism to exist in our country, which you're seeing right now, I would say to you, take your flag down and put up a Palestinian flag or something else for that matter, because you aren't for America. You never were for America. And we know now why you're not for America. Okay? Somehow, some way, I know my viewers are saying, why is he calling me out on this? Because you have the power, friends, to make a very good decision in that vote on November 5th. You have the power to make the decision for the country. Stop thinking of yourself. Think about the future of what we got to deal with here. Okay, we were on the brink of World War III, if you think about it. If the enemies of the world have their way with Kamala Harris in the White House, goodbye, United States of America. It's over and done with. Because you know why? Why would a person of that caliber from the Democratic Party want to even negotiate any kind of peace talks? No. You see, here's the thing. And I said this for the longest time, but I was told, no, that's hearsay. You can't say it. Well, I am saying it. That our current president of the United States, the coward that he is, and you know what? You can throw the 81-year-old garbage out the door, because I've seen people in their 80s and 90s who have twice as much more energy, twice as much more brain, and twice as much knowledge in their physical and mental stability. Okay. The days of that, we need to respect him because of his age. Forget about that, folks. Okay. I knew people in their 80s and 90s when I was alive who had very good, sharp mental clarity when it comes to issues of the world. Okay. They were on top of things. They read newspapers. They read books. They did everything to keep their mind sharp, and they are well respected for it. Okay. And I think they themselves probably could have ran the country better than Joe Biden. All right. But here's the bottom line. And here's something you'll never, ever hear from either side of the reporting table. Joe Biden took your American tax-paying money that you pay taxes with every year and gave it to Iran. He gave it to Russia. He gave it to China, all to keep his little mouth shut. And in return, he got billions and billions of dollars back under the table. So if you were the guy who basically was confronted by those three terrorist guys out there in the country, in the world, and they said, here's how you can make $1 billion, Mr. President. All you got to do is, once you get in the White House, don't say anything. Pretend like nothing's happening. Okay? Just shut up and you'll get your money. And sure enough, there was a contract. He probably had a contract. It was under the table. It was right under everybody's noses. And he collected on your taxes. That's right. He kept every bit of it for himself because he was greed, a corrupt man of the sort. Yes, the very person you voted for 3 years ago basically screwed you up the hiney. Okay? That's what he did. So, all right. To continue on with this one-sided commentary, let's see. Yeah, we know the stakes are high, but the stakes are even higher for Harris, okay, because she has a lot to answer to. She has a lot of explaining to do there, Lucy. That's right. Yep. So, yeah. All right. Here's one from Antonia Hitchens. What would it look like for Trump to stay on message? Well, the Democrats have spent the past month relentlessly reminding voters that their story is about joy, and pain. Yeah, it is more difficult to encapsulate Trump's own narrative arc. This is a long and complicated web and story, Trump said last week on the floor of Trump Towers, just past the escalator where it all began in 2016. As he has done a couple of times recently, he was clasping a few note cards to read from just a couple days before. Trump has acknowledged to a podcaster that he had lost the 2020 election by a whisker. Well, he still lost, and he's still fighting that. And you know what? He has every right to tell the American people that it was a rigged election, okay? Draw your own conclusions on it, all right? I know the American people don't want to hear from a crybaby about the fact that he lost, but you know what? The man did lose, and he lost because there was a lot of chicken fat in the mix. Okay, election integrity needs to be put into account. And here we have Georgia and the other state that was basically, I think it was Arizona too, finally coming to the table, said, yes, there was some mishandling. Yeah. Now, this is what the person says. Now at Trump Tower, without looking down at the cards, he was talking once again about the whole rigged election system. The system is rigged, folks. Yes. Why do you think we have an electoral college that basically you could vote till the cows come home? It doesn't matter. It's what the electoral college decides, okay? And if it's corruption in the electoral college, I guarantee you that there's corruption going on somewhere along the lines. Yeah. Here's it. Continue on. They said, in the hours before events like tonight's debate, one often hears that if only Trump ran purely on issue-based campaign focused on policy, he'd triumph over Kamala Harris. Pollsters such as Frank Luntz ask why Trump has insisted on blowing it. What do you mean blowing it? The man has basically shown you 40 press conferences, 40 interviews. He has given his message day in and day out, and so has J.D. Vance, okay? This idiot who wrote this article basically has lost touch with what's been going on out there. What have you been watching there, asswipe? Have you been basically noticing that Trump and J.D. Vance have taken questions after each and every press conference from the liberal one-sided mob media? Okay, what of that are you not watching? This one goes on to say, a mainstay of our three most recent presidential election cycles has been the compulsive search for a new Trump, a disciplined Trump, a Trump who wouldn't keep posting about the rampant cheating and skullduggery that has taken place by the Democrats in the 2020 presidential election. You write an article, my friend, and you're writing an article from the New Yorker about something that happened 4 years ago. Get over it already, okay? Please. The tension in the lead up to the debate is, as usual, whether Trump's past instincts to loom behind a woman as he did with Hillary Clinton to say how much more attractive he is than Harris will take over. I have to do it my way, Trump said plainly in Bedminster, New Jersey, at a press conference in mid-August when he was asked whether lobbing personal attacks at Harris was the best campaigning style. The event was meant to be about food prices. Trump was flanked by snack foods. I haven't seen Cheerios in a long time, he told the group. I'm going to take them back with me. I saw that press conference that he gave, and he gave a fantastic press conference about the rising cost of food prices. Folks, when you go to the grocery store and you're shopping for your family and your grocery bill is $200 and you're wondering to yourself, do I have that to pay for those groceries? Yeah, it's hurting you. And don't ever deny it that it's not. And I don't care if you bring home $500,000 a year and live in the finest ritzy neighborhoods of the United States. You are struggling no matter what class that you are. Okay? You're struggling because you can't change your lifestyle for nothing. No matter how good or bad the economy is, you yourself have to live this luxurious lifestyle of look at what I have on my finger. Look at what I have on my wrist. Look at what I have around my neck. Look at what I wear every day. You just don't know how to budget. And so you have to flaunt it. Well, maybe you deserve to be on the other side of the coin here. I'm not saying that you don't, but maybe once in your life, realize how it is to grow up, how to be poor, because we're all going to be in that situation. Look at California right now. Look at that great state. It's under so much scrutiny right now because the governor basically has screwed the American people and he's given everything to the illegals. And that's what could happen to a state near you. Yeah. Well, and of course, this person is just, of course, and then the Project 2025 thing. What the heck, man? It's a 900-page bunch of crap that not even Trump has nothing to do with. You keep saying that he's part of this whole thing. You who write this article, first of all, and second of all, I don't know. It's just, we need to go to break. But yeah, this is just disgusting. I mean, I know I'm supposed to. Yeah. Emu says, chicken fat, like that yucky purple stuff you saw in Mike Myers' Cat in the Hat. Yeah, but chicken fat could also be a yellowish color too, because when you skim chicken fat, it basically, it basically looks like yellowish in color because of the fact that the skin on a chicken is a little bit of a yellow color. So what are we talking about here with this presidential debate? Here's what Trump needs to focus on. And I think everybody has told him, even Tulsi Gabbard, who has helped him out, has basically said, stick to the issues here. Don't let them get under your skin. Pretty much go in there, calm, cool, and collective. You know what you got to say to the American people. What we want to hear from you is you will change everything back to the way it was 5 years ago. Before the pandemic, before this whole thing with, the shutdowns and stuff. I'll tell you what, folks, when you look at a map of the United States and you see red and blue all over the place and you see what's happening, I guarantee you a civil war will happen if things don't go either way. Somewhere along the line, the civil war is going to happen. Now, the good people of this country, and I'm talking about the Americans who fight hard, work hard every day, take care of their families, protect their properties, and do the right thing in life and stay the heck out of jail, you need to start preparing to protect us. We can't rely on our military to protect us, because if the government can't protect us, it's up to you guys out there to do what you need to do. And I would hope and pray that you would use your good skills to protect not only your family, but your neighbors and those who love you very much as well, too. I say, if you've got the tough guy mentality, go out there and show it, fight for us. Because I noticed something about the criminals who basically, they, who are out there. They look like they've got no meat on their bones. They're skinny little dudes and dudettes. And what happened to the guys who were bodybuilding out there, going to the gym, ones who were fighting in the karate, in the karate schools and all of this? Where is your defense? Where is your fight? No, you're basically letting these guys get the best of you. I would say put up a good fight for once in your life. There's no one is going to put you in jail for defending you. Okay. If you are threatened to fight, if you are threatened and attacked, you owe it to yourself and everybody around you for the safety of things. You owe it to yourself to stand up to punks in the street who basically think it's okay to knock grandma off on the third rail of a subway car. Yeah. If that's the way you feel and you just sit there video recording, I would not only take you out, but I'd take the guy who also did what he did. But if you have to videotape it with your phone and say, look what I got on TikTok, woo! Then I'm sorry, but you know what? I'm going to take that phone right out of your hand, smash it, and then I'm going to shove it up your butt. That's what I'm going to do. All right? Because I'm so sick and tired of looking at video footage of people in the very subways, in the very city of New York that I grew up in. I cannot believe the things I'm watching. I am disgusted with you New Yorkers. You'd say you guys are all tough. You all take no crap. Well, it looks like the ones who are coming in from other countries are giving you a taste of your own medicine. What are you doing about it? No, you're just standing around like nothing's happening, like it's business as usual down in the tunnels. Same thing up there on the streets. It's business as usual, and we go about because we don't want to get involved. Well, if you can't do that to protect your city, which you have an obligation to if you live in New York City, if you don't have that what it takes to protect it, then get out. Or go back to your home, lock your door, and just forget about things and get it out of your mind. We need you guys in New York to start stepping up your game. And if that means starting to bash these criminals in the face, clunk them on the neck, or do something, hey, man, look. You are you. And people are trying to take you out. But somehow or way along the line, you basically are giving them full-fledged opportunity, number one. And I tell you, it's sad. It really is. But anyways, that's the debate tonight. And all Trump has to do is pretty much stay on topic. Don't let her get under his skin. And he can cruise right into November 5th with a victory. Pretty much it. That's all you got to do. Stick to what the American people want to know, which they already know. They are tired of what they've had to deal with the last 3 years. And I think the Republican Party ought to take a look at this too, because from what you are getting from these debates and these press conferences of what Trump is going to do, you better start taking notes, because after Trump leaves office, whether he loses or not, he can't run again, or he could run again. But why would he want to run again if that was the case? Why go through all of this crap again if that was the case? All right. Whatever the situation is, the future of the Republican Party needs to be to the people that he has basically interacted with out there in the tough neighborhoods. Well, when we come back, we'll look at the passing of James Earl Jones, the longtime actor, and then give you the 8 common work from home scams and how to know a job is legit. We'll be back with more of the nightly news right after this.
I'd like to talk to you about good things to eat, like Swiss cheese on a crisp Ritz cracker, or a chunk of ham on a crisp Ritz cracker. Peanut butter and jelly on a crisp Ritz cracker. Everything tastes great when it sits on a Ritz. You hungry? Then have some onion dip on a crisp Ritz cracker. Good cracker. Good cracker. From Nabisco.
Little Caesars needs a celebrity for their new stuffed crust pizza combo. They don't charge a lot, so they can't afford a big name. What do you say?
Dynamite!
You still got it! They don't charge a lot, so they can't afford a big name. You're perfect. Ken Evil! Are you feeling it, Evil? He's better, yes!
Little Caesars large cheese stuffed crust pizza and cheese stuffed crazy bread carried out just $8.99 or have it delivered. Delivery.
Well, I went to a party, and what did I see? Peanut butter, peanutty. All those fine people like the peanutty tree. Peter Pan, peanut butter.
Peter Pan tastes so peanutty because it's made from the best quality peanuts in the world.
Hey, peanut butter, anytime they can. Only if it's Peter Pan.
We're Beatrice.
Ready? 10, 29, hot! That's right.
Hey, I can imitate almost anything, but no one can imitate the pump. The original, the pump. From Reba.
You love shrimp? Boy, I do. Right now, I love my little more because Shoney's is cooking up a great shrimp deal. Classic shrimp dinners starting at just $5.99. Choose lightly dusted shrimp, fried or stir-fry. Better yet, get twice the shrimp for only $3 more. Served with Shoney's soup, salad, and fruit bar. So sit yourself down at Shoney's for a classic American shrimp dinner. It'll be love at first bite.
The GE 2500. It can do almost everything but talk.
GE, we bring good things to life.
Okay, welcome back to WJAY Nightly News. This episode 2 on Tuesday night, September 10th, 2024. We hope you're having a fantastic evening with us. Let's get to the heart of the article that we were talking about. Our friend James Earl Jones, who passed away yesterday at the age of 93. It's been a sad day here in the entertainment world. He lived a good life too, you know. Known for his roles and his work in theater, he was one of the few performers to achieve the EGOT, which is the Emmy, the Grammy, the Oscar, and the Tony. And he was inducted into the American Theater Hall of Fame in 85, was honored with the National Medal of Arts in 1992, the Kennedy Center Honor in 2002, and the Screen Actors Guild Life Achievement Award in 2009, and the Academy Honorary Award in 2011. He was born in Arcabutla, Mississippi in 1931. He had a stutter since childhood. Jones said that poetry and acting helped him overcome the challenges of his disability. A pre-med major in college, he served in the United States Army during the Korean War before pursuing a career in acting. His deep voice was praised as a stirring basso profondo that has lent gravel and gravitas to his projects. Jones made his Broadway debut in the play Sunrise at Campobello in 1957, and he then gained prominence for acting in numerous productions with Shakespeare in the Park, including Othello, Hamlet, Coriolanus, and King Lear. And Jones worked steadily in theater, winning the Tony Award for Best Actor in a Play for his role as a boxer in The Great White Hope, which he reprised in the 1970 film adaptation, earning him Academy Award and Golden Globe nominations. Jones won his second Tony Award for Best Actor in a Play for his role as a working-class father in August Wilson's Fences in 1987. He was a Tony Award nominee for his roles as the husband in Ernest Thompson's On Golden Pond in 2005, about an aging couple, and as a former president in the Gore Vidal play The Best Man in 2012. His other Broadway performances included Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, Driving Miss Daisy, You Can't Take It With You, and The Gin Game. He received a special Tony Award for Lifetime Achievement in 2017. Well, Jones made his film debut in Stanley Kubrick's Dr. Strangelove. He received a Golden Globe Award nomination for Claudine, and he gained international fame for his voice role as Darth Vader in the Star Wars franchise, beginning with the original 1977 film. Jones's other notable films include The Man, Conan the Barbarian, Matewan, Coming to America, Field of Dreams, The Hunt for Red October, Sneakers, The Sandlot, The Lion King, and Cry, The Beloved Country. On television, he received 8 Primetime Emmy Award nominations, winning twice for his roles in thriller films Heat Wave and the crime series Gabriel's Fire. And he also acted in Roots, Jesus of Nazareth, Picket Fences, Homicide, Life on the Street, and Everwood. Born in Arcaboutla, Mississippi, to Ruth, a teacher and maid, and Robert Earl Jones, a boxer, butler, and chauffeur. His father left the family shortly after James Earl's birth, and later became a stage and screen actor in New York and Hollywood. Jones and his father did not get to know each other until the 1950s, when they reconciled. He said in interviews that his parents were both of mixed African-American, Irish, and Native American ancestry. From the age of 5, Jones was raised by his maternal grandparents, John and Henry Maggie Connolly, on their farm in Dublin, Michigan. They had moved from Mississippi in the Great Migration. And Jones found the transition to living with his grandparents in Michigan traumatic and developed a stutter so severe that he refused to speak. He said, "I was a stutterer. I couldn't talk. So my first year of school was my first mute year. And then those mute years continued until I got to high school." He credited his English teacher, Donald Crouch, who discovered he had a gift for writing poetry, with helping him end his silence. Crouch urged him to challenge his reluctance to speak through reading poetry aloud to the class. And in 1949, Jones graduated from Dixon Royal Agricultural School, now Brethren High School in Brethren, Michigan, where he served as vice president of his class. And he attended the University of Michigan, where he was initially a pre-med major. He joined the Reserve Officers Training Corps and excelled. He left, and he felt comfortable within the structure of the military environment and enjoyed the camaraderie of his fellow cadets in the Pershing Rifles drill team and Scabbard and Blade Honor Society. After his junior year, he focused on drama with the thought of doing something he enjoyed. Before, he assumed he would go off to fight in the Korean War. And Jones graduated from the university in 1955 with a Bachelor of Arts, majoring in drama. With the war intensifying in Korea, Jones expected to be deployed as soon as he received his commission as a second lieutenant. While he waited for his orders, he worked on the stage crew and acted as the Ramsdale Theater in Manistee, Michigan, if I'm pronouncing that right. Jones was commissioned in mid-1953 after the Korean War's end and reported to Fort Benning, now Fort Moore, to attend the Infantry Officers Basic Course. He attended Ranger School and received his Ranger tab. And Jones was assigned to headquarters and headquarters company 38th Regimental Combat Team. He was initially to report to Fort Leonard Wood, but his unit was instead sent to establish a cold weather training command at the former Camp Hale near Leadville, Colorado. His battalion became a training unit in the rugged terrain of the Rocky Mountains. Jones was promoted to first lieutenant prior to his discharge. He moved to New York, where he studied at the American Theater Wing and worked as a janitor to support himself, which, just by reading that as he moved to New York, would qualify him for being on the Legacy of Queens, even though he was born in Arcabutla, Mississippi. Now, Jones began his acting career at the Ramsdale Theater in Manistee, Michigan. In 1953, he was a stage carpenter, and between 1955 and 1957, he acted and was a stage manager. In his first acting season at the Ramsdale, he portrayed Othello. His early career also included an appearance in the ABC radio anthology series Theater 5, and in 1957, he made his Broadway debut as an understudy to Lloyd Richards in the short-lived play The Egghead by Molly Kazan. The play ran only 21 performances, but 3 months later, in January of 1958, Jones created the featured role of Edward the Butler in Dor Scarry's Sunrise at Campobello at the Court Theater. Then in 1961, he appeared in an off-Broadway production of The Blacks by Jean Genet, alongside 8 subsequently prominent black actors, including Roscoe Lee Brown, Cicely Tyson, Lou Gossett, and others. And the New York Public Library has a collection of photographs of this production, including one of Tyson and Jones. During the early to mid-1960s, Jones acted in various works of William Shakespeare, becoming one of the best-known Shakespearean actors of the time. He tackled roles such as Othello in King Lear, Oberon in A Midsummer Night's Dream, Aborson in Measure for Measure, and Claudius in Hamlet. And also during this period, Jones made his film debut in Stanley Kubrick's Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. Ooh, what a title. As the young Lieutenant Lothar Zog, the B-52 bombardier. Jones would later play a surgeon and Haitian rebel leader in The Comedians, alongside Richard Burton, Elizabeth Taylor, and Alec Guinness. Then in 1967, starred alongside Jane Alexander in Howard Sackler's play The Great White Hope at the Arena Stage in Washington, D.C. He took the role of the talented but troubled boxer Jack Jefferson, who was based on the real champion Jack Johnson. Now, the play was a huge success when it moved to Broadway on October 3rd, 1968. The play was well received, winning the Pulitzer Prize for Drama. Jones himself won the 1969 Tony Award for Best Actor in a Play and the Drama Desk Award for his performance. We could go on and on here. You know about the rest of his stuff. He also was on Sesame Street, reciting the alphabet to all of his, viewers out there with a bald head. I didn't know about that because I wasn't born when the first Sesame Street first came out. So, of course, that was new to me. But I, as far as James Earl Jones is concerned, I remember him on MathNet as Chief Thad Green with Kate Monday and George Franklin. So that's the first time I had seen James Earl Jones on TV outside of, any kind of movies. And that will forever be the day that I followed James Earl Jones with MathNet and Square One Television. Well, we could continue reading on here, but we're going to go on to other things. But we do wish the family, the Joneses family, we keep you in your prayers. We hope that you will have a very good, what they call mourning period, as they say, and that everybody loved James and the work that he did. And he lived a great life of 93. 93 is nothing to sneeze at, folks. There's a man who basically stood the test of time, got over his stutter, and became one of the famous voices we all know and love to this day. We'll forever remember you and never forget what you've done, James Earl Jones. Okay, when we come back, we'll look at the 8 common work-from-home scams and how to know if a job is legit. More of DMS 3000 News when we come back right after this.
How can I ever forget one of my special customers, little Michael? Every week he'd come in, and every time he'd say, his eyes shining,
stork reason, please, Mrs. Lang?
One of those reasons I had to give him immediately. The others I put in a bag for him. Now there is stork chocolate reason, a long-lasting, chewy chocolate caramel covered with rich chocolate, just right for Michael.
Stork chocolate reason, please, Mrs. Lang.
And Michael still eats the first one immediately. Stork chocolate reason, the everlasting chocolate chew.
The GE 2500. It can do almost everything but talk.
GE, we bring good things to life.
This is Polaroid's new Time Zero One Step.
Pretty. Why is it black?
So you'll know it's the Time Zero One Step. And here's the world's fastest developing color. You see it in seconds now, not minutes.
Look at that color. But why a Time Zero One Step?
It comes with a pack of Time Zero Supercolor film in this made-for-each-other pack.
Certainly are made for each other.
Just like coffee and cream.
Rolls and Royce.
Or me and you.
Try ham and cheese.
Grapefruit juice? Sure, it's good for you, but...
Great for dieting.
But
Plenty of healthy vitamin C, but...
But the taste? Well, pour on the pink for a taste you never expected. Ocean Spray Pink Grapefruit Juice Cocktail. Zesty, tangy, sweeter.
This is grapefruit juice? It's not bitter.
Hey, pour on the pink. Ocean Spray Pink Grapefruit Juice Cocktail. It's not just good for you, it's good. Ocean Spray good.
My friend Al's having a big party to watch the big game. So I'm setting him up with some KFC Super Buckets. For just $9.99 each, he's getting 15-piece buckets, jumbo buckets of 36 hot wings, and variety buckets with 3 kinds of tasty chicken. I said, how are you going to carry all these? Oh, maybe that's why I'm invited.
The KFC Super Buckets, just $9.99. Get them in Lake Edna or your neck of the woods.
Mark Saltzman is going to tell us about 8 common work-from-home scams and how to know if a job is legit. Yes, it's something if you are a remote worker and have been doing that kind of work or that type of work from your home since the pandemic or even before then. So, looking for a new gig? Before you accept an offer, read the expert-backed advice for spotting work-from-home scams. So imagine landing your dream job only to realize it was an elaborate ruse to defraud you. Sounds like a nightmare, but it's happening a lot. Posing as companies or independent contractors, fraudsters are offering job hunters remote work, then pulling the rug out from under them. Instead of lucrative companies, the cyber criminals are running work-from-home scams that'll steal your personal information or convince you to pay a small amount up front for something. Talk about kicking someone when they're down. The popularity of work-from-home jobs, coupled with the increased number of people looking for extra income in a challenging economy, has created a perfect storm of sorts. In fact, the Better Business Bureau reports that an estimated 14 million job seekers are confronted with job scams annually, resulting in more than $2 billion in direct losses. Like other types of scams, these fraudulent jobs are a scheme to take your identity, bank information, or money, says Catherine Fisher, a career expert at LinkedIn who often writes and talks about job scams. Work-from-home scams prey on people who want to make money working remotely and can be for job titles such as mystery shopper, virtual personal assistant, or caregiver, and so you want to be vigilant when applying for these types of job opportunities. With the help of these renowned experts in this space, I'm laying out the tech tips you need to know to avoid work-from-home scams. I've been writing about technology for 30 years, and even host the Tech Impact TV show and Tech It Out radio show and podcast. So I know how to translate tricky topics in a way that's easy to follow. Ahead, I'll do just that to help you spot the red flags and take action if you fall prey to a work from home scam. So it almost kind of lays out what this is, like a outline. That's pretty good. So let's take a look at it. As the name suggests, work from home scams are fake job postings that promise part or full-time employment from home, but are designed to trick you into paying them instead of the other way around. Work from home scams tend to fall into one of two categories. Fake applications. The company asks you to fill out a phony application, and then fraudsters steal your personal info, which could lead to identity theft. And fees and fake payments. Yes, the company asks you to pay a fee of some sort, perhaps for a fake background check, certification, training, or equipment purchase. The goal, however, is the same: to defraud you. There are also work from home scams that involve you in criminal activity, often without your knowledge, such as having you ship illegally purchased goods out of the country. Scammers want your money and or your personal information, says Rhonda Perkins, who's chief of staff for the Division of Marketing Practices at the Federal Trade Commission. Scammers place fake ads on job search sites, and often the position may be fake, or the scammer copies an ad by a real employer and swaps in their contact information. And while these schemes have been around a long while, they've typically existed as phone, email, and text messages, and scams for that matter. But they're increasingly migrating to direct messages on LinkedIn, WhatsApp, and other social media sites, and are focusing on many job seekers' desire to work from home. Well, who's at risk? Well, anyone looking for a new gig could fall for a scam, but if you're looking for a work from home job in particular, you're especially at risk. We hear a lot about elder fraud and scams targeting older adults, but perhaps unsurprisingly, young people have a greater risk of falling victim to work from home scams. And as reported recently in the Wall Street Journal, fraudsters are often targeting college graduates who are understandably eager to land their first jobs. Well, here's 8 popular work from home scams, and they come in all forms and evolve regularly, but the following are a few of the more common ones you'll come across today. Pay for training. Yep, that's a big one. In a pay for training swindle, the company will tell you that you got the job. So far, so good. But shortly after sharing the good news, the fraudsters will ask you to pay for a certification they say is necessary for the role and or for virtual training. In some instances, they claim they'll reimburse you for the costs, adding those fees to your first check or direct deposit. They're banking on the fact that hopeful job seekers tend to go above and beyond for their new role, but there's no job, and the training is bogus. By paying for it, you're putting money in the hands of the bad guys. Another scam we see is when fake job recruiters tell people to pay for a more professional-looking resume, or they're told they won't find work from home opportunities, says Tony Farana, the lead career expert at Flex Jobs, the top job searching site for remote work. These phony recruiters can be hard to spot. So even if these scammers are overseas, generative AI is helping them communicate with better spelling and grammar, Farana adds. Medical billing, here's another one, is a great work from home opportunity, but that plum gig may be a scam if your new boss asks you to buy your own equipment first. The company may tell you the products are necessary for getting the job done. Yeah. It might promise to reimburse you along with your first payment. It's all lies, courtesy of the scammers behind the fake job. This employment scam is related to another tactic. Someone reaches out to you with an offer for a free brace, wheelchair, or walker. Medicare will pay for it, they assure you, but to process the benefit, a seemingly generous Good Samaritan will ask you for your private Medicare info. You guessed it. The goal isn't to gift you for free medical devices, it's to steal your info. And then for overpayment. Yep, your new work from home job may seem legit until the company sends you your first check for much more than it owes you. Oops, our bad. Your new boss may reply before asking you to send back the difference. Do it, and you're falling hook, line, and sinker for an overpayment scam. Here's how the con works. You send back the difference in payment by wire or check, and when you attempt to cash the check your employer originally sent you, it will bounce, and your bank may notify you after the fraudsters cash your money. Perkins says the scammers may also ask for gift cards for cryptocurrency when you return the extra cash that had been accidentally added to your paycheck. The reason is simple. They're both difficult to trace, and if that sounds like an unreasonable request, know that they may come up with a reason why they'd like to be reimbursed by those methods, she says. When applying for a work-from-home job, you may be asked to fill out forms that seem innocent enough, with requests for your name, address, phone number, and such, but in an identity theft job scam, these forms can graduate to asking for more sensitive details, often under the false claim of needing to perform a background check on you. The scammer's ultimate goal is to gather enough information to steal your identity. Yes, there are legitimate multi-level marketing companies or companies that sell products via person-to-person sales. But as the FTC points out, there's a very fine line between MLMs and pyramid schemes. If a multi-level marketing company promises you money for recruiting others to work for them, not based on your retail sales alone, it's a pyramid scheme, the organization says. How do you know that an MLM is up to no good? You earn a commission based on what the people you recruit sell, and you're first asked to buy the company's products with your own money. Don't think that a recognizable name means a company is legit. Pyramid schemes may sell products that you've heard of. And don't be lured by promises of wealth. The con artists often tout the potential to make big bucks, but you're likely to spend more than you could ever earn. And don't forget the reshipping scam. Yes, jobs that promise high earnings for minimal work, all done from the comfort of home. No wonder job seekers are jumping at such opportunities. Unfortunately, these are often scams and ones where fraudsters rope unwitting employees into assisting in the con. And without realizing it, you may be performing illegal tasks as part of your lucrative new work-from-home job. That's the case with a reshipping scam. As part of this con, a company may send small boxes for you to repack and mail with labels it provides. In reality, you're unknowingly smuggling drugs or other items. In another common scam, mystery shopping jobs by fake retailers or faux recruiters promise to find you high-paying secret shopper jobs in your area for a small fee, of course. And once you pay up, the scammer will disappear with your money, and you're left with nothing. Some versions of the scam ask job seekers to pay for training or products, while others tell them to pay for access to surveys that promise compensation when completed. In all cases, once you pay, you'll never hear from the scammers again. Here are the 12 telltale signs that a work-from-home job isn't legit. Your spidey sense should be tingling if you see any of these red flags in your job post or while corresponding with someone at the company. Sounds too good to be true, because it is. Take, for instance, an ad promising that you can make $1,000 per week in your pajamas. No experience necessary. The job is unsolicited, a work-from-home opportunity you never applied for, or the offer comes far too easily, maybe after only one short interview. The description of the job is vague. Information about the company is sparse. The offered wage is higher or lower than the average wage for that job, and here's your reminder to check current wages on the internet. The company or recruiter isn't willing to chat via phone or video call, conducting all aspects of the hiring process over text or direct message. That means you'll never see their ugly face ever in whatever you're trying to accomplish. They may say they're traveling or live out of the country and can't talk. Yeah, I've had some situations like that. You are asked to pay for supplies, training. There are no employees on LinkedIn, no company reviews. The recruiter or company quickly suggests moving the conversation off LinkedIn to another messaging platform. I've seen that before. As Fisher points out, scammers will do this often. They may also ask you to download encrypted software to chat with them, which causes viruses. And a company or recruiter asks you to provide personal info or banking details very early on in the application process. You receive a check for more than you expected, and your company instructs you to send the additional cash back, which and your new boss asks you to ship you boxes and requests that you send them to a third party. So how do you avoid it? Well, to sidestep work-from-home scams, you need to know that they're out there and understand what they may look like and be aware of the fact that they can evolve over time. From there, you can best avoid becoming a victim of a job scam by taking the following advice to heart. Look up the company. Frana says she always advises people to check out the company's website to see if it exists. And if the company is fake, there may not be a website for it. If there is a site, stay skeptical while you poke around and consider it fishy if there's no contact information. Look for the company's affiliation with organizations like the Better Business Bureau, but overall, just trust your gut, says Farana. And if the company seems legit, determine if the person contacting you actually works there. We have seen instances where a guy will say he's working for a company. He's never been there. He's a fake employee or employer of that company. And he's basically just trying to scam not only the company, but you as well. Yep. Look for the verification badge and be wary of classified ads. And, this pretty much gives you a cut and dry, rendition of what you need to know about how to steer clear of these issues with scammers and the job market. Yes. Yep. All right. Well, that is going to do it for that article there. And when we come back with the remaining time of our show, we'll look at, of course, the motivation of the day. I'll take a look during the commercials to see if there's any good foods for the national holiday today. In the meantime, we leave you. Well, we won't leave you. But I noticed something, too, before I will go to break here. I noticed that somebody decided to it looks like somebody was trying to be a smartass and come on here and basically try to fake us all out with a fake channel and a comment of stupidity. Well, Mr. John Gamble, you were banned and the comment removed. Bye-bye. We'll be right back right after this.
I'd like to talk to you about good things to eat, like Swiss cheese on a crisp Ritz cracker, or a chunk of ham on a crisp Ritz cracker. Peanut butter and jelly on a crisp Ritz cracker. Everything tastes great when it sits on a Ritz. You hungry? Then have some onion dip on a crisp Ritz cracker. Good cracker. Good cracker. From Nabisco.
Little Caesars needs a celebrity for their new stuffed crust pizza combo. They don't charge a lot, so they can't afford a big name. What do you say?
Dynamite!
You still got it! They don't charge a lot, so they can't afford a big name. You're perfect. Ken Evil! Are you feeling it, Evil? Is that a yes?
Little Caesars large cheese stuffed crust pizza and cheese stuffed crazy bread carried out just $8.99 or have it delivered. Delivery.
Well, I went to a party, and what did I see? Peanut butter, peanut. All those fine people like a peanut tree. Peter Pan, peanut butter.
Peter Pan tastes so peanutty because it's made from the best quality peanuts in the world.
Hey, peanut butter, anytime they can. Only if it's Peter Pan.
We're Beatrice.
Ready? Hey! 10, 29! Hot! That's right.
Hey, I can imitate almost anything, but no one can imitate the pump. The original, the pump. From Reebok.
You love shrimp? Boy, I do. Right now, I love my little more because Shoney's is cooking up a great shrimp deal. Classic shrimp dinners starting at just $5.99. Choose lightly dusted shrimp, fried or stir-fried. Better yet, get twice the shrimp for only $3 more. Served with Shoney's soup, salad, and fruit bar. So sit yourself down at Shoney's for a classic American shrimp dinner. It'll be love at first bite.
The GE 2500. It can do almost everything but talk.
we bring good things to life.
All right, welcome back here to the final segment of Jay's Nightly News. Episode number 2 is coming to an end here so quickly, but we have time for the national holiday, which is National TV Dinner Day. Yes. Well, if you've had a TV dinner in your time, and I know I've eaten a lot of them back in the 80s, and the late 80s, the early 80s, and well, after a while, you get to the point where you look at all the ingredients in the TV dinner and you say to yourself, holy cow, what the heck was I eating? But it was so good. Yes, it's a day celebrated on September 10th, the holiday that captures the essence of TV dinner. It's a day to let yourself enjoy a complete meal without having to cook. It's also a good time to enjoy a nice show on TV. And did you know that the first TV dinner was a Thanksgiving meal of turkey, peas, cornbread dressing, and sweet potatoes? It was the company C.A. Swanson and Sons that developed TV dinners in 1953. You know, as television became more of a pastime, families began to gather around it and to have a good time. And the concept of TV dinner was created in order to make the experience even better. Originally known as TV brand frozen dinner, TV dinners became popular in the 50s. 50 years before the boom of TV dinners, meat was already a common frozen commodity, but it didn't have a wide appeal because the freezing methods made the food lose flavor and taste. The evolution of frozen foods was aided largely by Clarence Birdseye, who discovered a quick and effective way of freezing fish as early as 1925. With this knowledge, he expanded the process into vegetables, and this method of frozen foods was used in procuring food for the military during World War II. In 1949, Albert and Meyer Bernstein ushered the idea of TV dinners to the larger market. They founded Frozen Dinners, Inc. and began selling their products in the Pittsburgh area. However, TV dinners became popular after C.A. Swanson and Sons rebranded the idea of frozen dinners. This time, there was a general acceptance of the idea, and TV dinners became an instant hit. The original idea is credited to Jerry Thomas, a Swanson salesman. After low Thanksgiving sales, there was an abundance of turkey left. In an attempt to salvage the leftovers, Jerry Thomas claims to have come up with the idea of TV dinners. Today, TV dinners cover a limited range of food, including fruits and vegetables, and National TV Dinner Day is the holiday that is set aside to appreciate and enjoy the simplicity of eating while enjoying a good time in front of your television set. So here's your timeline, folks. Starts in 1925, going with the improving methods of freezing food, to 1944, useful during the war. The first TV dinner sets foot in people's homes, 1953, by C.A. Swanson. And then in 86, the trays for microwaves. Trays that adapt to microwaves are invented for the purpose of the TV's dinners. That's why when you saw them first come out in the early 80s, they looked like they were metal because they were only used for the oven, your oven. They were not microwave safe. And then as time progressed, you saw how the trays got to be microwave friendly because now they realized that when microwaves came out, well, TV dinners had an endless supply of purchases made by those who love a good fried chicken dinner. Yes. And of course, there's a TV dinner for vegetarians. They're catering to everybody there. So how to observe this day? Well, order one. Spare yourself the stress of cooking on National TV Dinner Day. Get your TV dinner and warm it up and watch a classic movie if you like. And invite your friends. You know, have your friends come over for the day. You can all binge watch your favorite shows as you eat. Buy dinner for someone. Yeah, you can buy a TV dinner for someone who needs it. Many people have no time between jobs and sleep. 5 interesting facts about it. It was an instant success. Yeah, in their third year of marketing the TV dinner, C.A. Swanson and Sons sold 25 million units. And you have a wide range of options when choosing your TV dinner. And watching the TV was an important aspect of TV dinner as families would gather before the television set. That's why they also make TV tray tables as well. And TV dinners are generally not very expensive, and they save you some time and energy. And Hungry Man dinners are popular sizes of TV dinners with more food on bigger trays. Why we love it? They save time. You know, as a worker, it is sometimes impossible to create time for cooking. We love the fact that you can easily pick up a TV dinner. It's a good time to have fun. Yep, on this day, you can watch and have a good time with family and friends, and everyone can have a TV dinner. And there's a wide range of food options so everyone can enjoy the National TV Dinner Day. Yep, next time we'll see it will be on a Wednesday, which will be next year. Yes. Good idea for all of that. I think that's a fun little piece of nostalgia there. But today you got to read the labels and make sure you don't overdo it on the TV dinners, because booty with the sodium and all the other things that basically are not good for you. They're good for a little bit, but I wouldn't rely on them. I would actually go out there, get some good stuff, and really, go on the organic side. We'll even talk about organic versus regular sometime in the future. Okay, let's go ahead and look at our motivation of the day. Ralph Marston concludes our program here all the time. Today for Tuesday, September 10th. Why am I thinking Friday? I'm thinking end of the line already. That would be great. Your title is Value Along the Way. Yep. Speed matters, but direction matters more. In most cases, getting there faster is not as important as getting there well. The value embedded in your chosen destination is not in merely arriving, and you can also gain great value in the journey. Rushing through that journey not only produces needless anxiety, it forces you to bypass opportunities. Choose instead to let your life unfold at a pace that leaves plenty of room for goodness and fulfillment along the way. And if you feel the need to rush through anything, do you really even want to do it? If you cannot savor the process, you're unlikely to be satisfied with the result. Go steadily forward and don't dawdle, but don't hurry so much that you far outrun the value of the experience. Make sure you're going in a positive direction and give yourself the time to do it well. Value every moment along the way and put all that time on your side. That's right. So you have that time for other things, other more important things that are important to your life. And we hope that this show is, of course, important to your life, as we've given you some great topics. Enjoy the debate tonight, folks. I know I'll be busy with the show called Versus at 9 o'clock, which is coming up in about a half an hour. I'll be getting prepared for the first show, where we'll be looking at two interesting topics. You'll just have to watch the show to see what we were talking about. And don't forget also, too, we have Jay's Retro Toys and Games at 10 o'clock. And the Queen's New Yorker comes back for its 10-year anniversary season tonight. We'll be looking at some fantastic new things and new information to share with you on our 270th episode. That should be fantastically fun. 270 episode, 70th episode, that is. And we'll see you tomorrow, of course, for our Patriotic Day here on September 11th. Till then, I'm Jason Icanio. Remember, be honest, be real, and keep it simple, stupid. Kiss. Good night.